All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bryan Bios. This will be episode number 3, maybe a little later. We're stacking them up here on finals week. And today I have a very special guest, a friend of mine, a 3-year player on the Bryan varsity basketball team, Kheller Die. Kheller, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we just referenced finals week. How did it shake out for you? Was it tough? How'd your grades finish?
Well, I kind of got lucky. Only had one final.
Yep.
Took it yesterday. Did well. I think I finished the semester with a 4.0, so good semester for me.
I think you can thank Miss Adina Scruggs for that. A great professor. Had her in 3 classes this semester, and she was great. She's always great, and I really learned something too from her teaching. So it's not just a free pass, but she's been great. So we'll get into it here. We'll start kind of we kind of do like a sequential interview process here. Growing up, your childhood, some of your roots, I know you've touched on, or I've heard from you that you are Haitian, of Haitian descent. Do you want to kind of walk us through that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I can. So my mom and my dad are both from Haiti, Mackay. It's like a few hours northeast of Port-au-Prince.
Yeah.
And, come from humble beginnings, didn't really have much growing up, but they made the best of everything. And my parents have taught me to like be grateful for things and just to, appreciate the simple things in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate them for real, for actually instilling these values into me at a young age. So
That's great. I mean, this weekend, me and a roommate of mine had the privilege of refereeing a AAU tournament, and it was there were not many people that appreciated the small things. We'll go with that. So to hear that, that's awesome. And going off that, I mean, your earliest memories of basketball. Did you play any other sports growing up? I mean, what was it like? Have you lived in Hendersonville, Tennessee, your whole life?
So initially, I lived in Nashville, and then my parents got better jobs, and we moved to Hendersonville. And I played a lot of types of sports growing up. Played football. Really loved football, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing basketball when I was 5 years old, 6 years old. Just playing the local YMCA, whatever. And I fell in love with it immediately. But initially, my first love was football. I just loved hitting people. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just loved getting a sack, And my dad always tells me to this day, like, man, you could have been D1 football player, whatever.
Man.
But basketball has always been my first love. So, yeah.
I relate to that a lot. Basketball has always been kind of, just something that I'm like stuck with loving. Like I don't quite understand it. I don't get it, but I don't think there's a better feeling than being out on the court for me personally. I guess, it's a labor of love, and, touching on that, your transition from high school to college athletics, how did that go? Was it a difficult transition? Did you see, was it much harder? Have you gotten the experience that you wanted out of it?
Well, honestly, I've overcame adversity all my life. I'm gonna start a little farther back. I'm gonna start in middle school. So middle school, didn't really get a lot of playing time. 7th through 8th grade, I was always younger for my grade, and it's still the case now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really adept physically when I was in 8th grade, and didn't really play. I didn't make the team in 7th grade, and then 8th grade, I didn't make it until fall, and then I never got in the game.
Yeah.
So I always had a fuel in me to like overcome that. So then fast forward to high school, and I made the team, and didn't make varsity till my sophomore year. And then I got to play 3 years at Station Camp High School. And shout out to my coach, Coach Massey, Coach Perry, Coach Sexton. They believed in me when nobody else really did. And it's crazy because my middle school team was really, really good. We had really good players. And I'm the only one that still plays college basketball from that middle school team. So it's just, it's just a lesson to be learned is to never give up and always keep pushing. Don't let nobody bring you down, you know? And, I mean, we still got guys on that middle school team that played other sports, but
Yeah.
I was the only guy that plays college basketball. So, I mean, I had a pretty successful career in high school, did well, played with a lot of great players, a lot of guys that played high-level D1. So it was good competition for me, and it's prepared me for college.
Yeah.
Initially, didn't start out the best when I got here. I mean, I played well, but I was out of shape. I wasn't physically ready,
Mm-hmm.
and I redshirted my freshman year at Bryan. I think that was the best decision I've ever made to do that because I could have just played a little bit, but, you know, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So then over that summer, and I think you remember this, I lost like 30 pounds
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get in shape, just trying to, you know, be in the best position possible to play the following year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was great for me. And then that sophomore year, we just these next 2 years after that, like it's been pretty good. There's lots of ups and downs, but I mean that's just
It's a
that's
flow.
for
It's
everything.
a flow of college
Yeah,
athletics.
it's for everybody.
I mean,
but-
you're gonna have runs, and I know we've had a few when I was playing that we 5-1, 6-0, and it was awesome. And then we've had times where we go in and we're 1-4, 3 games on the road. It's brutal. It's the dead of winter. It's cold. Like you're on the bus for 10+ hours in a weekend. It's awful. So I mean that's just the flow of college athletics. Going back a little bit to what you said, I found it pretty interesting. I missed the 6th grade team, the 7th grade team. I made it my 8th grade year. My middle school team was also awesome. Like there were lots of great players for that age. I never played in the 8th, or I made it, but I never played in the 8th grade team. Missed 9th grade. Didn't make varsity as a sophomore. And really like my only 2 years of high school basketball were my junior and senior years. So I thought it was really interesting. I hadn't heard a whole lot of people with a story like that. So I'm grateful that there is somebody else out there, and it shows from the way you play. Kind of a joke, kind of not, was me calling you Spark Plug on the broadcast this year. But it's true. You're a dog. There's no one I've seen at my time at Bryan that plays harder and loves to get in there and do the dirty work more than you. Can you speak a little bit to your mentality, like game in and game out? Do you psych yourself up for that? Like what does that look like for you?
Well, for me, I just like to play my role. I mean, I know I can do other things like score and, facilitate, but that's just not my role because we have other guys to do that. So I've always been taught all my life to just do your role and play your role as hard as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I can do to help the team win games, which is like maybe dive on a loose ball, get offensive rebound, guard the best player, like I can do that.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily something I psych myself up for before a game. It's just something that like it's just a mentality. Like it's something that's so simple that you don't see in the box score, but if you do it, and everybody buys into it.
Yeah,
it's something special. So that's just something I've always been doing. I was never a defender, never really was until I got here, honestly. So it's just it's something everybody can do to an extent, but I just pride myself on that and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think you see that a lot with the college game when you get to a level where everybody is so good, like, you may feel in your bones that you're as good or better than people, and some people aren't going to see it that way, and you've got to adapt, and you've got to learn to be something that you've never done. And so with you saying that, I mean, it really does show that you pride yourself on it. So I guess, you're a 3-year starter here, or not starter, 3-year player here at Bryan. You've made a lasting impact on the court. Do you have any stories off the court? Do you have any, meaningful connections you made here at Bryan? Anything important that you would want people to know outside of basketball?
Well, meaningful connections. Well, I got a few guys that I hang out with on the team. my boys, Cal, Josh, Logan, Parker. Those are my guys. We kind of like became a group this year.
Yeah, what's the name for the group?
The fam.
Yeah,
The fam.
Yeah.
We hang out all the time.
Yeah. You guys went to dinner last night.
Went to dinner literally last night, for Cal's birthday. Happy birthday, my boy. And, it's just those guys, like we help each other. We study together. We work out together. It's just like those 4 guys, like I think will be at my wedding one day.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And, I've made a lot of friends here, and, it's just the good thing about Bryan. It's just the community is just really, really awesome. Like you're going to make a lot of friends. Like me and you've been friends since I've been here. And it's awesome. You make relationships with teachers. You make relationships with other coaches.
Yeah.
And like, it's awesome. It's nothing I've ever been to. And I went to a huge private public school.
Yeah.
And at home. So it's just, I've made more impressions at a smaller school here than I did in high school. Real impressions.
Yeah. Lasting impact.
Lasting.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
So, yeah.
I think the more people you get, the more people, it's not that they don't want to know you or they don't have, want to have anything to do with you, but it's just that there's so many people. And at a school like Bryan, where I wouldn't say I know everybody here. I know of a lot of people here, but there are more opportunities to create, lasting connections, friendships that'll last lifetime, relationships.
Absolutely.
I know the statistic here is that 60% of students meet their significant other here.
Yeah.
So I think it speaks to how well Bryan's campus and community is put together. Closing thoughts here. Is there anything you're excited for? How many years do you have left on the court? Do you have 2?
So I have 2 years left.
Yeah. So you got 2 left. Is there anything you're excited for? Anything that you going forward on the court at least like look to accomplish?
Well, first off, we want to win a conference championship next year. We believe we can do it. We believe we have the guys that can do it. We have the depth who can do it. And, I'm just going into the summer, just got to get better at certain things, I got to become more of a threat offensively and stuff like that. And I know I'm capable of it, and I'll put the work in. And just, I'm really intrigued in, like, who we have coming back and, like, stuff like that. And, I'm excited for the future for sure.
Yeah. I think that's good. I think everybody that steps on the college floor, like they want to bring home a banner. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, you can come here 20 years from now and that banner will still be up there. It'll have your year on it, and you'll know you and the guys or girls, of course, that were on that team accomplished that feat. And that's something nobody can ever take away from you. I'll be interested to see it progressing forward. I hope you guys get it. That moves us to, I guess, the last part of this podcast, which would be your plans after basketball. We all know not going to last forever, of course.
Absolutely.
Do you have any plans off the court next year? After your playing career is done, that you know of already, or just aspirations that you hope to get to one day?
Well, I'm obviously going to go get my master's after I graduate next year. And that would be important for me. I think I'm going to either do sports management or education, between one of those two. But honestly, I'm probably going to be on the sports management route. Yeah,
that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. After literally 2 days after graduation ends, got to start that.
So my goal is I want to work for an NBA front office one day, whether it's being like a general manager or like player personnel or something like that. Because I want to I'm very in depth when it comes to like players and like me and you talk about players all the time.
Absolutely, we do.
We'll be like, Kheller, they'll be like, Kheller, how do you know this guy? I'm like, I just researched it. Yeah. So it's just something like that. And I know I got to start small, like probably start being a scout first, and then work my way up. So I want to obviously get my master's and then try to find a team, like an internship, and maybe have to start on the college level or something. But just something that gets me into the NBA in that regard, because there's no way I'm going to make the NBA. Let's just be real. But like,
hey, all of us face that at some point.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it down.
Yeah, but I just want to at least be a part of something like that, and I find it really interesting. So I'm very intrigued for this future, and I'm also one thing I want to give my shout out to my little brother Kevin. I'm excited to see what he's doing. He's insanely gifted, basically everything that like I could think of, like sports, academics. So I'm really excited to see how he progresses, because he's going to go to college in a year.
Okay.
So those are probably my two big things.
Okay. Sure. Awesome, man. Eric Spoelstra, one of the coaches in the playoffs, widely regarded as the best coach in the NBA. He started out as I believe, a video guy for the Miami Heat. So you never know. I mean, maybe one day we'll see you in a suit. I mean, I think Spoelstra just wears polos, but maybe we'll see you in a suit one day out there. Kheller, it's been great to have you, buddy. Thanks for coming on the pod. Thank you to all our listeners. We really appreciate you guys. We'll try to keep bringing these semi-weekly, depending on schedules. Throughout the summer, you might notice a few weeks here and there where there's not any. We're trying to stack them up. And this has been Bryan Bios number 3 for me and Kheller Die, signing off.